Go Mavericks!
Don Westfall is back with Dan McCarger. Unfortunately, we do not have Mike Hastings tonight, so we'll have to get his thoughts tomorrow night before the game. But thankfully, we do have a win to talk about here tonight. The Mavericks, 3 goals in the first. Tech only gets the one from Shane Hanna. Those 3 goals stand up, and the Mavericks in the books with a 3-1 win.
Well, you know, the game didn't go the way we thought. A lot of penalties, not a lot of 5-on-5 the way Mike Hastings wanted it to be. Mavericks took too many and had too many power play opportunities for Mel Pearson's liking as well. But in the end, the Mavericks got out to a 3-1 lead and were able to make it stick for 2 periods and 2 periods after the first period. And I think it all goes back to Cole Huggins. He was named the number 3 star of the game tonight, but as far as I'm concerned, he's the number 1 star of this game. This is a 3-1 game that he kept at 3-1, and a lot of other goaltenders would have ended up tied or losing.
Numerous power play opportunities tonight, probably close to 20 between the two teams, and that's one of those things you cannot replicate in practice. And this early in the season, power plays, special teams, those are always one of the last things you're able to really gel on.
Well, and the Mavericks faced some 5-on-3. Well, I promise you they didn't spend a lot of time on the 5-on-3. Probably didn't spend a lot of time on the 4-on-3 that they saw tonight as well. So those are things that you're going to work on, but I think overall Mike Hastings has to be very happy. They limited shots on goal. That's one thing that they've been so good at over the years since he got here, and it's not something that he knew that they were going to be able to do tonight. This team from Michigan Tech is a good hockey team. They played a really tough weekend last weekend. You figure they're going to come out throwing everything but the kitchen sink at the Mavericks tonight, and they were only able to get 21 shots on goal through 3 periods of play. And if you can average 7 shots a period, you're going to be just fine most nights.
Let's take a look at the highlights of the contest. And again, going all the way back into the first period of play, Mavericks get on top with an early goal by Zeb Knutson.
Knutson makes it 1-0, and that goal comes at 7:35 from Hunter Brinker and Brickley to make it 1-0. Then Shane Hanna at 12:03, the only goal of the night for the Huskies from Ranke and Lucchini, makes it 1 apiece on the power play. Then also in the first period, Knutson his second from Daniel Brickley and C.J. Franklin at 14:20. Knutson, 2 goals on the night. Then Daniel Brickley finishes off the scoring from the point. Brad McClure and Nicholas, that is, with the assist at 14:43. And the Mavericks lead 3-1. Here's a breakaway opportunity that Cole Huggins was able to stop in the second period. Here's one in the third period. A pretty good chance right out in front. He was able to stop it. And you take a look at some of those shots and opportunities, Don. That's just a pretty good night for a goaltender who's won 38 games and now 39 for the Mavericks.
Yeah, really, for the first period of play was the Mavericks with those power play goals of Knutson, but in periods 2 and 3, it was kind of like the Cole Huggins show.
Yeah, it certainly was. He was really, really good those final 2 periods. And it wasn't the amount of shots, it was the quality of shots that he saw, and the quality of shots he saw in the second, third period were very, very good.
Next we'll go up, and either it's our play of the game or our stats of the game, and actually it's going to be our play of the game. It's our first game up here as well of the season, but again, our play of the game, and that's going to be the second goal here by Zeb Knutson. And I don't know if we have the overhead shot of this, Dan, but he did not have a lot of room to work with.
No, he went up over the shoulder of the goaltender, and he had very, very little to work with there. I would say it was probably 3 or 4 inches, and he was able to sneak it in.
That's our J. Beal top floor play of the game. J. Beal top floor and the J. Beal Real Estate Group, they do the little things that make a big difference. Big difference tonight. Cole Huggins again. We saw there was goals by Zeb Knutson, and the Mavericks ride things out to a 3-1 win. Our game summary of the stats, Dan?
23-21 shots on goal for the Mavericks, 2 for 8 and 1 for 9 in the power play for both teams. 34-23 on faceoffs for Michigan Tech, and that's something that's a little bit surprising. Mavericks usually win the faceoff battle. It's something we'll have to work on, although Zach Steppen did not play tonight, and he's very good in the faceoffs. We get out-of-town scores. Bemidji leading over Bowling Green in the third. It's Ferris losing to Western Michigan tonight. Connecticut shuts out Alabama. Just getting underway, Minnesota and Alaska Anchorage. Northern Michigan and Wisconsin in the third period there. And UMass Lowell beats UMD 5-4, so they're now 2-1 in the season. Denver and Ohio State tied at 1-1. North Dakota big over Canisius tonight. It was Union over Michigan. And Northeastern and Quinnipiac tied at 2 in overtime. Quinnipiac ranked number 2 in the nation. BC loses to Air Force tonight. And St. Louis tops Penn State 6-3.
And in a battle of top 20 teams, although I guess, Dan, it's early in the season, so
It
who
is.
knows what polls mean. But Mavericks come in ranked 19th in the country, and tonight they knock off the 17th ranked team in the country, Michigan Tech, by a score of 3-1. All in all, I would imagine Coach Hayton, especially with not having Jordan Nelson and Steppen in the lineup here tonight, I would say Coach Hastings pretty pleased overall.
I think you would take an opening night victory just about any way you can get it, but the way the Mavericks got it tonight, I think they're going to be very happy. They didn't make a lot of mistakes turning the puck over. They got very good goaltending, didn't allow a lot of shots on goal, took too many penalties. But I think a lot of teams across the country are going to do that until they get used to the way the games are going to be officiated. Once everybody gets used to it, things should calm down. There won't be as many power play opportunities, and we'll get back to a more free-flowing type of game that everybody wants.
We are back tomorrow night, again, 7 o'clock, the pregame show. 7:07, the face-off here from downtown Mankato with Dan McCarger and myself, Don Westfall, along with the students from Bethany Lutheran College who brought you this opening win tonight for Minnesota State Mankato. The Mavericks knocking off Michigan Tech by a score of 3-1. We thank you for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow night.